Here is the Kindle 4, or as they call it, the all-new Amazon Kindle. This e-reader costs a low price of £59. It is cheaper than the last Kindle, but it's also pretty much the same thing exactly. Only key differences being that this is black and that the page turning speeds are increased by 15% on the new Kindle. So, if you're new to e-reading, then the extraordinary thing about the Kindle and other e-readers is that this is clearly very small, but has the capability of holding an entire library worth of books in its memory. The Kindle is very thin at 8.7mm and weighs in at 170 grams, which they proudly say is lighter than an average paperback. This is definitely much lighter than carrying 1,400 physical books, which this device can hold with its 2GB memory. The small form factor means it is possible to fit in a pocket. So the front is dominated by a large 6-inch e-ink display, which we will discuss later. The back has a nice matte rubberized finish, which makes the Kindle easy to grip. The two metal contacts are designed to power the light on the Amazon Kindle case, which you can buy separately. The Kindle is littered with physical buttons as it does not feature a touchscreen. There's a large page forward and back button on both sides of the device, making it easy to navigate through a book, regardless of what hand you are holding the book in. There are a few more buttons below the screen, which helps to navigate through the Kindle's user interface. At the bottom there is a micro USB port for charging and syncing, and there's also a power button. As I mentioned earlier, this has a nice 6-inch e-ink display. It's an e-ink pearl display, so it boasts great contrast, making reading easier. What's cool about the e-ink display is that there is no glare on the screen, even when you're in very bright sunlight, which makes it fantastic for reading on. It also uses very little energy compared to normal LCDs, so the Kindle has a battery life of 3 whole weeks. Eye strain is also clearly reduced. The disadvantages of an e-ink display is that the colors are very limited, and in the Kindle's case, only grayscale. Also, the display works by refreshing the entire screen every time the content changes. This can be slightly slow, and on rare occasions you can see the ghosting effects, where you see content from earlier pages or screens after a refresh. It's actually the refresh of the screen which takes up battery, so you'll rarely ever see your Kindle with nothing on the screen. It has a fast enough process to make navigation through the menus in the book fast and snappy. The 2GB of internal memory is also sufficient for up to 1,400 books, which is enough for anybody. The important part of the Kindle is its e-reading capabilities. Thanks to the 6-inch e-ink display with 167 pixels per square inch, the screen is sharp enough to read books at small fonts. However, you can change the font size to the size of your liking. You can also add notes, bookmarks, and there's also the ability to search the book. The only real way you can get books is through the Amazon Kindle bookstore, unless you try hard enough. Despite being limited to this store only, it does contain a wide range of books. There is also the cloud storage feature, meaning all of your purchases are stored in the cloud and you have the ability to sync between multiple Kindles. Books can be purchased straight from the Kindle thanks to its Wi-Fi capabilities. Quite a few book formats are supported, but the popular EPUB format is not. The Kindle user interface is friendly. Unfortunately, the device does not have a touch screen, so you find yourself tapping quite a few buttons before you get anywhere. Your books are quick and easy to access as they are on the front page. The lack of a touchscreen is most notable when you are trying to type something in. Using the 4-way up, down, left, right navigation keys to click each individual letter reminds me of typing my name in on a Game Boy game from more than a decade ago. In other words, it's a pain. Linked to this, the included web browser is almost unusable. The screen has a rather long refresh rate, which is okay for reading books, but not so much for navigating a website, and typing a URL is near impossible. Altogether, the Kindle is a fantastic e-reader. The Kindle performs well at its primary use of reading ebooks. The screen is very good, as it is sharp and works well under strong sunlight. The Amazon bookstore makes it easier to get the latest books, and also to sync data between the Kindles. The only real downside is that you cannot expect anything more from this than purely an e-reader, not even a web browser. Also, the screen is not backlit, so you require a light case in order to read in the dark. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check out our other videos.